Hello everyone, it's Callum here. Welcome to another Pack One Pick One video. And this week it's going to be a little bit different. It's the Calling Auckland coming up this weekend. The format for which is going to be Monarch Limited, sealed and draft. And the top 8 for that is going to be decided by a draft. So I thought it would be cool this week if we give everybody the extra stipulation that we're going to pretend we are in the top 8 draft of the Calling. And we're going to make our picks based on that. It's going to give everybody a little bit of added pressure, a little bit of extra stakes. And also, we're only going to get 60 seconds to make our first pick because that's how long you would get in the top 8 draft of the Calling. And we'll see if it changes anything. So without further ado, let's crack a pack. All right, so I'm going to open the pack before I start the timer because in the top 8 draft of the Calling, the pack would already be open and face down in front of me. So I'll get this open, remove the token, and start my timer. All right, so let's see. You've got to be quick when you are... Oh, wow, okay. Some good things in this pack that I'm going to bring to the front. There's 3 nice red cards that I'm looking at. Generic, goes in anything. 6 attack, breaks phantasms, very good card. Very powerful card for Chain. There is also a Shadow Head here and some decent Runeblade things that I could wheel. Nice red seeds, so difficult to take there. There's also a very powerful Red Herald. The equipment is nice, keeps me a little bit open. I only have 10 seconds left here. I think my pick is just going to be this. Oop. Turn that off. So, yeah, looking at that pack, it's so little amount. It's such a little amount of time to kind of make this decision. So I'd take the red pound for a pound, but let's see what others would take. All right, Jacob, you have 60 seconds. Pick up your pack.
All right, let's have a quick look at this. Okay, very interesting pack. So this pack's a little bit on the weaker side. Some interesting cards to notice here. We have Red Seeds, which is very strong to go with this. Soul Reaping, Even Husk, Even Fold. There's some really good Shadow in here. Soul Reaping is extremely powerful though. Extremely powerful. Red pound for pound is just good no matter what we want to draft. I really want to stay open, so I'm valuing this pound for pound very highly. The Soul Reaping, though, I'm a big fan of taking these generic 6s early. But Soul Reaping is just such a strong card. Such a strong backbreaking card.
10 seconds.
And I'm not married to my first pick. And I think just based on the power level of Soul Reaping, I just have to take it here. But it's very, very close.
And draft.
So yeah, we'll just take this and I'll be passing this to the person on our left.
Okay, so how do you feel about that pick?
Very, very good. These specialization cards for Boltyn and Chain specifically are extremely strong and limited. Soul Reaping basically reading if you've got a Blood Debt card in your hand, it costs 0, and you gain a resource, which is a extremely powerful effect. Having this card in your draft deck makes, like in your Chain draft deck, makes it so much more powerful, along the lines of Viva Vanguard and Boltyn. I was a little bit annoyed because there's a bit of heavy Shadow in this pack with Ebon Fold, which is a really good Shadow equipment. We got the Red Seeds of Agony, which may be taken as a sign to someone further down to go into Chain. But Chain is just so strong with Soul Reaping that I think it's worth just speculating on this and then just hoping we get past some more Chain cards from our right. This being a very high level draft, I just want to just have the spikiest power level I possibly can. And it's not like I'm married to this first pick. If it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. But I'd also rather this not be in the draft for any Chain drafters down the line. Because if I'm passing this around, I don't want my opponent to be playing the Soul Reaping against me either.
Okay, Newson, you have 60 seconds. Pick up your pack.
Alright, so first card that I'm interested in is Red Seeds. Keep going. Oh, pound for pound red. Good generic 6 power. Oh. Ooh. So these are some strong cards in this pack. But if it was me, I would have to go with my first pick would be Ebon Fold. Just because I feel like I'll never have an opportunity for this card to get passed to me again later on the draft, because this card is actually very important in certain decks, and then everyone would usually be fighting for this card. So I'm lucky enough to get it from my first pack, and yep, Ebon Fold will be definitely my first pick.
All right, Chris, you have 60 seconds. Pick up your pack.
All right, first thing I'm going to do is go straight to my rares, and straight away I see that we have a bomb card in Soul Reaping. This card is very hard to compete with. So I have to see what other Runeblade cards I'll be passing. So there's nothing like Seeds of Agony is pretty significant. What else do we have? Light cards. See, nothing too special here. Generic cards. Pound for pound is exceptionally good. Closing games and fighting against Prism. Brute just has nothing I would even consider looking at. Prism has some powerful cards, but just not a fan of Prism actually in this
10 seconds.
Format. I think. Yeah, so I'm just going to take the Soul Reaping and try and force what I can. So yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, how do you feel about what you're passing in your pick?
So I'm not happy that I'm passing a Seeds of Agony, but to me it was Soul Reaping or pound for pound. I think Soul Reaping just absolutely closes games out of nowhere. It's one of the most powerful cards in the format, and stops Prism at 6 power, so it already competes with pound for pound. So yeah, I'll take the most powerful card, and if I'm not Prism at the end, not Chain at the end of the day, well, at least no one else has this card to play against me.
Kieran, you have 60 seconds. Pick up your pack.
Alright, so I've made the top 8 of the calling. Woohoo, go me. Okay, so I'm just going to have a look through, put some of the cards that I'm eyeing up at the top here. Okay, so we've got some actually relatively strong cards that we can go into. Now the Soul Reaping, the issue with the Soul Reaping here is it kind of commits to Chain, and we're passing at Red Seeds of Agony. I'd be a little concerned, and we'll also be passing an Ebon Fold. I'd be a little bit concerned about doing that first pick of the calling. Similar thing for the Heralds. We take the Herald of Triumph, we're passing an okay light card. We'll take the equipment.
10 seconds.
I feel first pick here, I may just play it safe, take the red pound for a pound. Good against Illusionist. Generic card, doesn't lock us into anything.
And draft. Okay, Kieran, how do you feel about that first pick?
A little uncertain. I mean, it's difficult passing up, some very strong cards and the thing to other players. I just had concerns about taking something like Soul Reaping or Seeds of Agony because I'm passing sort of premium cards to my left. The Herald of Triumph was definitely a bit tempting. The Herald of Protection isn't sort of the strongest, isn't the strongest card around. I think ultimately something like the Ebon Fold may have been a better pick here in hindsight. If we look through the Brute cards we have available, Leviathan cards, there's effectively very little. There's only blue Hungering Slaughterbeast. So I could have taken the Ebon Fold and looked to force Leviathan a little bit. It's very, very strong Leviathan. I'm not giving any signals of cards I'm taking because, there's no Brute Leviathan cards in here anyway. So the person to my left might be thinking, well, they've... actually, I'm leaving it pretty open. They would have known I've taken the equipment. Ultimately, the pound for pound, the reason I quite like this card
is it's got that 6 power, so it's very good against Prism for breaking Phantasm. It's a generic card, just playing it out in its own right. It's, can have Dominate if you're on lower life. Dominate's a really good finisher. And I feel this is probably going to go into pretty much any deck I play. So in the interest of kind of staying open, I feel pound for a pound. In the absence of sort of some really huge bombs, might just be the card to pick. Yeah, because the thing is, taking a Soul Reaping, very tempting, but like I said, I'm passing Evenfold and Seeds of Agony. It's a little difficult for me.
Okay, Jason, you have 60 seconds. Pick up your pack.
Alright, so looking through the pack, I pick up all of the best cards, and instantly we see the best cards in this pack are Soul Reaping, like by a large margin, and then we also just have a bunch of Heralds and Seeds of Agony. So when I see a specialization card, something that's powerful as Soul Reaping, the first spin I think is I'm just probably going to take it. Like, this is what you want to open in a pack. Like, the goal of these specialization cards are to be like extremely powerful. Having said that, remember you can only have one Soul Reaping in your deck, but I would not be opposed to picking up a second one purely to get people out of chain. We're 100% going to be taking Soul Reaping here. It's not even close, but it's really important to actually take a look at the rest of the pack and figure out what people's going to do. It's actually pretty amazing. Like, Seeds is not by far the second best card, and people will probably pick another card based on others, but there's going to be a lot of like people just taking these Heralds. Like, these two Heralds are extremely powerful. I think like the next few cards that's just like taken out of this pack, it's actually just gonna be prison cards. Someone's gonna take the Seeds of Agony. It's fine. We have decision on them. Maybe there's Seeping Shadow tables if people don't really respect it, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I just get one of these cards back. But yeah, so we're going to keep note that we're passing away prison cards. And what does this mean when we keep note of this? We're at a calling. We are going to play against the same people. And there's going to probably be 3 or 4 prison drafters at this table because everyone loves to play prison. So not only have we picked a really powerful 6 power card, but I'm going to be looking to be drafting a few 6 power cards to make sure I knock out every prison drafter at the table, including the person on my left who picks this card.
Okay, Carol, you have 60 seconds. Pick up your pack.
Alright, let's have a look. I'd want to sort it in terms of the classes. What do we have here? Ooh, some powerful stuff going on here. So there's quite a few Runeblade cards. I'm really passing the Herald, a bunch of 2 Heralds, Illuminate. So there's some powerful cards, but I think I want to stay open here. I think I really like the pound for pound here. I think it's a very solid finisher. It's great against Prism, so I don't mind passing all these Prism cards. The person on my left, if this was a proper draft, we probably won't play each other till
10 seconds.
Till the finals. But yeah, I'll probably give the person next to me a strong Runeblade signal and just stay open. Okay, so in terms of passing the cards, I've passed not that many Levia cards. Pound for a pound makes sure that I'm staying open. I feel like I am giving a strong signal to the person on my left to either go into Prism or Chain, so I'd probably expect the people next to me to be in those two, either one of those 2 heroes. But yeah, basically my goal is just to stay open for now.
James, you have 60 seconds. Pick up your pack.
Easy. Done.
Okay, all right. Well, you guys tell us a bit about how you're feeling after that pick.
It's just a no-brainer for me. This card is by far the most powerful card in the pack, and just without hesitation, I will pick this card first time every time from this pack. And if Chain gets past to me, fantastic. If I'm getting a hard cut from Chain, I will muck this pick and pivot as necessary. But yeah, this is one of the best cards that you can get in Monarch Limited, hands down.
There you go. You heard it from the man himself.